Hey guys, it's the Dominator, so let's turn our attention away from the Open for a sec and talk about the Classic division. I love this category for the posing and the excellent conditioning throughout the entire lineup. These are things you sadly don't see as much anymore in the Open or even 212. But something was missing this year, and it's very simply this. The element of unpredictability is gone. Chris Bumstead has this thing seemingly on cruise control to the point where it's almost becoming a foregone conclusion. As long as he doesn't come in wildly off the mark, the show is his to lose. And while it's great to see a multiple-time champ carve out a legacy, it does get a little boring when you have the exact same top three in the exact same order 2 years in a row. So anyway, don't get me wrong, I still love this division, but think they need to make some adjustments to make it more exciting and mix it up a bit. For starters, how about increasing the prize money to encourage more talent to join the ranks? Bodybuilders should be transitioning out of 212 to come here, not the other way around. It's also high time they added in the missing poses like the front lat spread and side triceps, which are classic to a T. It never made any sense why they decided to omit these. I get that this is already probably the fastest growing division, but it could be even better, that's all I'm saying. But enough preamble, let's go through the mandatories and I'll give my 2 cents on who wins each pose and why. So here in the front relaxed, it's Bumstead all day. Amazing taper, and he's got a really imposing structure with all that height. His physique draws the eye the most. Nice square chest, and the best conditioning from the front with those fully separated quads. After that, it's a bit of a toss-up. I like Ruffin probably, although the newcomer Urs Kalecinski from Germany also impresses with some nice aesthetics. Breon looks a little stockier here. It's not one of his stronger shots. The side relaxed is also Bumstead by a country mile. Excellent pecs, some nice detail through the serratus. The glutes are even showing some striations here. Chris's coloring is perfect as well. It gives him that crisp polish that's dark enough to show detail without being too dark. Terrence Ruffin, I feel, often gets the short end of the stick at these big events where it's almost like he's so dark he's getting washed out. But this is more a criticism of the lighting and cinematography than him as a bodybuilder. Anyway, I like Breon after Chris here. His legs from the side are ripped, with a nice split between the hams and quads. Urs is last because he lacks density. To be frank, I don't think he belonged up here in the top callout. No disrespect because I realize this was his first Olympia outing, but he was clearly fourth and would have been better compared against the guys below him. From the rear, this is the first time Chris is somewhat vulnerable. His back lacks detail compared to Ruffin's and Ansley's. Terrence has the best back probably, but Breon's cleaning up in the hamstring department. So overall, I'm giving it to Ansley, then Ruffin, and then Bumstead. Again, from the side, we already know who wins this. So in the front double biceps, this is Bumstead for me. He used to lag behind pretty badly in the biceps, but he's brought them up a lot in the past couple years. Yes, they attach a little short, but that's a genetic trait, and there's not much he can do about that. But luckily for Chris, this pose has always been more about the torso for him with that expansive ribcage and the best vacuum in the business. The quads complete the pose for him. As for second, I'm going with Breon simply because his biceps are way better than Terrence's. Terrence has the better legs from the front and a slightly nicer vacuum maybe, but Breon's upper body looks more impressive to me on the whole. It's obviously Ruffin in third then, since Urs is way out of his depth right now. The kid looked great, but he's far too green and underdeveloped to be standing up here next to the cream of the crop. The side chest is pure domination by Chris Bumstead. I don't even think there's too many guys in the open who have better looking side chests when just standing on their own. Obviously, they would smoke him on mass and thickness if you stood them side by side, but individually, this is a thing of beauty. This is what we mean when we talk about things like flow. It's where all the pieces fit together harmoniously and nothing is out of balance. I would go with Breon once again over Ruffin because his chest is a little larger, as are the shoulders and arms. Ruffin's delts here look too small, and overall he appears kinda small and compact. With Urs, I will say his lower body looks terrific right now, arguably matching or even outdoing Bumstead from the waist down, but he gets destroyed up top. Okay, from the rear, this is where Terrence starts to make up some ground because he really shines in the back double bi. The glutes are peeled, and that back is jam-packed with all kinds of detail. Breon to me is even a little better though. He looks slightly sharper through the lats, shoulders, and arms, and has the bigger biceps. So I'm going with Breon and Terrence as a close 1 and 2, with Bumstead in third. I felt he was in better condition last year and didn't look as good from the back in 2021. So, of course, in the ab and thigh, the idiot cameraman decides we don't need to see the reigning champ hit his signature vacuum shot. You see, guys, this is why I hate callouts larger than 3, because it gives the camera crew an excuse to start zooming in and denying us a proper view of all the competitors. But anyway, between these two, I'm going with Rough Diesel all the way. Really nicely formed abs, and his quads are superior. Nice taper through the lats as well. I think he'd probably even beat Chris in this pose, at least until Bumstead breaks out that epic vacuum. Which is almost kind of like cheating in a pose called the abs and thighs, isn't it? I've got mixed feelings on that, but as long as you hit the conventional ab shot at some point, I guess it's fair game. So yeah, let's just say it's a toss-up between Chris and Terrence on that one. In the classic pose of their choice, this is Bumstead for me. But the new guy looks pretty damn good in his pose too. The upper body looks bigger and fuller here than it did in the front double somehow, so excellent selection there on his part. Breon and Terrence look fairly underwhelming in the side try and modified front double, and when Chris hits that 3/4 back shot, that's the exclamation point. It's game over. Good night, thanks for coming. So that's going to wrap it up for Classic Physique. My only criticism in terms of the placings is the same one that I gave last year, namely that Breon probably should have taken second with Terrence in third. But then again, I do feel the margin between them was slimmer this time, with Terrence making improvements and Breon mostly just treading water. Either way, it's not that big a deal, and Chris Bumstead rightfully laid claim to his third consecutive title. Alright, thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more if you enjoyed this type of in-depth analysis. I've got at least 2 more vids planned, one for the 212 finals, and the other to discuss that controversial Hunter vs. Nick battle for 4th. So stay tuned for those, but until then, it's the Tominator signing out, and I'll be back!